A massage? Okay.
Let's not mess it up, as that can lead to having hot water in the toilet. Passed. Awesome.
Wow. And make solid myths.
After finishing the sanitation, thanks to the great help of Diego, we've continued with the rest of the plumbing. Not much left, friends. Get comfy, we're starting. We've bought this property in El Paraíso, and inside it, completely abandoned, there's a stone house. After clearing the overgrown weeds, we kept cleaning the access path. Along the way, we found swimming spots with stunning waterfalls. The access is very difficult, and bringing in the materials takes a lot of effort, but we don't give up. Our goal of restoring it with our own hands remains intact.
We're going to run a pipe through here somehow. I'm going to imagine the plumbing from here. So what we're going to do is run that pipe. We're going to cover the pipe with insulation, bury it, and take it to the tank. In the tank, install a valve. When it comes in here, put an elbow, go up, install a valve, and go back down to the ground. Which means I'm going to leave a long section of copper here, kind of annealed there, and then we'll take it to the place. Okay? Okay. I mean the one to raise it, otherwise you can't see the key. Okay. And then it's up to you. If you want to come in here or over there, taking advantage of the hole, I think that...
Taking advantage of the hole. I'm going to say...
That taking advantage of the hole. What I'm going to do is leave the annealing for later. See that? Okay. So we said that we have the key there. After the key, there's a T-joint. One pipe goes here, another pipe goes there. So let's start from there.
Why is it called annealing?
This is a pipe like the rigid ones.
But...
They put on it, let's say, like a light bulb. They connect positive and negative current to it. And all of this gets red hot. Then they remove it. And so, after the copper has become red hot, suddenly it becomes very flexible.
The rigid one, if you heat it with a blowtorch and make it red hot, then you can bend it.
It's like, actually, that's how we used to do it before.
Before there were so many parts, you would heat it, make it red hot, cool it down, and with your knee or a bender, you would shape it.
I mean, the advantage is that being able to work it with more ease.
Yes, the disadvantage is that it doesn't come out straight. If you're going to leave it all exposed, then it looks bad. It's not the same as a perfectly
Rigid one.
The advantage in these setups we're going to do here is that it's very easy to work with. Teo Veil, so should we take it out? Well, we're going to do this outside so you can see how it's done correctly and not just do it any old way here. So we step down a little here. Let's start with the chip plane when we place it, and we go like this, like this. If you want, go ahead over there. And there you're going to get a bar as rigid as possible.
All right, now lay it down.
I'll cut here. Let's measure. As mentioned, we'll go through there. I'll cut now. Or, well, actually, I think maybe even on the other side. We're going to put in a junction. A junction is this. A piece that on one side, by means of a clamp, by tightening with a rubber, connects here. And on the other side, it lets you screw it in. Then, we're going to put another junction on a piece of copper, which is soldered on one side and screwed on the other. That is, we're going to use this same piece, and on the other end, we're going to solder it to the copper, something that ends in a male thread so it can be screwed in. Honestly, I prefer to do it on the other side of the wall, okay? Okay. So that from there, we have a very strong guarantee that it won't leak. Here we're going to put an elbow joint, or simply bend it, and we're going to install a valve right as it comes out. We'll install the valve recessed into the wall. Later, when you come with the wall, you'll see a worm table here.
No, can't see. Something like that, something...
Pretty? That with a trim looks really cool. So I'm going to start cutting from here, but then we'll add 20 centimeters to cut. Once we go up with the wrench, we're going to put in a T. This is the T. Here's the wrench. We put it in the T. And then we're going to add another piece to this one. To bury it again, it's just going to have a little pipe going up with the wrench. Actually, this won't be visible since it'll be hidden inside the wooden wall you're going to build. We go downstairs, and here we take the cold. We go up, and here we take the cold. Consequently, we're going to measure this piece, and we're going to do it kind of like that.
Because you're going to join it to these, right?
I'm going to join it over there, getting rid of all those pieces that are going to bother you a lot.
Yes.
I will leave it very long, but I'm measuring it precisely. And it gives us 2 meters and 50 centimeters.
So we're going to
Cut 2 meters and 50 centimeters. I don't trust that tramine. It looks a bit weird to me. And then when it's time to make the cut, since I have to fit in a piece, it's always really bad for me if it's curved.
that it's curved? Ah, okay.
The curved shape makes it difficult for anything to fit easily. The best approach is to make it as straight as possible. Here we use the pipe cutter to achieve that. An angle grinder can also be used, but it leaves burrs and is slower. One way to use the regular pipe cutter is to do it like this, right? You keep opening it. And the other way is to do it like this, okay? Okay. When using it, I'm going to use it here so you can see what happens. If I press, okay? I pressed too hard. Look. Ah, yes, okay, I squashed it from all sides. If I press too hard again, I'm crushing it, really crushing it. I mean, it's terrible, right? Terrible. This is a super common mistake. Uh-huh.
Because you're afraid it won't cut?
Of course, people are in a bit of a hurry, whatever it is. And look, are you closing the tube? Okay. So what you have to do is come here.
And not tighten it, right? Just leave it as is.
Just let it touch. Okay. And I give it just a little, see how little, and turn again just a bit more, and well, that's how you go. Like grabbing it like this as I go up. I'm already turning my finger a bit, I turn it again, and well, I cut it well. We'll measure from here, 250. I'll hold it.
With the tape measure?
Put your finger where it goes, 250. It was 250, right? Do you want to do it?
Okay, let's try it.
To open it, I just do this, 2 turns.
Oh, 3 to the right.
I had already done it.
To try it out. So now that the tube is crushed, nothing happens if we open it a bit more. Like this, and if we move a bit closer, the whole tube has to go in. All right, there.
Good. It has 2 molars, 2 rollers in the middle, and...
I'm closing now.
With those fingers you hold from below. Yes. And then you manage in the middle.
Ah, this here. Exactly. Okay. This here too.
Bring that closer, let it touch a little, and keep turning. Like that. You're not doing it perfectly. Sorry, a bit more. And what's that? That's nothing, you idiot. And you keep going, then gradually you start to get it. And now I press a little more exactly. Every time you make a turn, press a little. With the annealed tube, obviously, it's much more important to be careful than with the rigid one. The rigid one can handle the bends. If you don't press with every turn you make... It's not that it gets loose, it's that it cuts, and then once I cut, the tube is no longer tight. All right, perfect. And now we have to check that there's no huge burr left. In this case, there isn't, but if there was one from the pipe cutter, we have this tool. So this tip is to insert here. And remove all the burrs, of course. Obviously, there wasn't much here, but if I cut with an angle grinder, especially, there will be some.
Burr, and when...
In the end, what happens is that I keep reducing the tube. When I reduce the tube, when the flow is suddenly reduced, that is the space. The same amount of water flowing in a smaller space means higher pressure. That's why it's important not to leave half the tube with a burr. There will be increases in pressure. You have to watch out for that. We've got it. I'm going to leave the pipe cutter here, but I'll take the measuring tape with me. It's crucial to keep the pipe cutter with the tube and the measuring tape on hand. Otherwise, it's a hassle running around all day. Because here I'll have come back with a measurement. Okay, now, we come here. This lines up for us over there, and here we go. What is this?
That has to be knocked down. That disappears. Yes, it disappears. Okay, as soon as we remove the bathroom, we remove this.
Well, since this disappears, it's very easy to curve this. What you have to do is make the curve wide so the pipe doesn't get narrow. If I take a pipe and squeeze it, I bend it too much. At 90 degrees, it closes off.
It gets closed off, exactly. So we're back to the same thing, right?
We introduce flow. The pressures start going crazy. Isn't there some kind of instrument?
A tool that you put in and it makes the fold.
Yes, a bender so you don't...
Crush the pipe and leave it.
I mean, of course, with our knee we're going to have to make a curve this long, but with the bender, it makes it really short. With this one, let's say, very good, man. A few years back, when using copper fittings wasn't common, you would anneal the copper and bend it yourself. That's how it was done. We did a good job, a lot more work, but it was appreciated that the jobs that didn't pass were done better. If a supervisor came and saw that you were making the bend well, he wasn't going to say, hey, that's going to be covered, right? Because this is going to be covered.
So what does it matter how the bend looks?
But you prepared yourself if you did it well, because that was also what the job taught you, to do it well when you had to do it well. In this case, we'll cut, put a sleeve, weld, and connect to this T-joint down here, okay? That was left. Now what's going on? This T-joint isn't just going to go up. The valve was here, let's remember, right before the branch, obviously, because if we put it after, it wouldn't cut off this section. We're going to put the valve here, and now what we're going to do is bring this down. We have two options. Put a small piece and weld a tight bend, or make a bend ourselves with the pipe bender. Considering that we're going to enter through here, we have very little space. So what we're going to do is cut a small piece and weld it. All right, so we're going to go outside and cut a small piece that fits into the female end of this elbow. And at the same time, this can't be like this, because if it's like this, the solder won't go in when we weld. At the very least, it will have to be like this. Okay, because if I'm here when I eat for a moment, the solder is there, of course. So what we're going to do is measure that, but there's no need to measure exactly. I mean, let's just make it 3 centimeters and that's it. Yes, so let's go outside. Oh, yes. You want to cut it, yes. Cut a piece like this, right? 3 centimeters, yes. We'll give some generous ones for this, some for that, and some in between. He empowered me.
If you do it this way, it falls down.
And now to clean pipes, here. Yeah, well, it turned out so well that it's not even necessary. It's fine with the pipes and the meter that fell. As long as they're dirty with grease, you can more or less fit them in. Besides, we cut them really well. If I'm attempting to insert it and it doesn't fit, it occurs frequently. Imagine I didn't insert it correctly and it only goes in partially. And I start pressing like this inward and hitting it with a hammer, and that's it. It won't go in any further.
We're out. Let's go back to
the same thing. It means I didn't go in completely straight. It means I went in exaggerating. So when I'm like this, what I have to do is this, right? I don't know if I explained myself. Yes, look for the balance. That is the most common exercise. So it can come in. The same with the elbow. The elbow goes here, and instead of pressing inward, what I'm doing is rotating. Up, down, up, down. Up, down. We already have the little piece. Well, it's going to go around here. We don't really care if it's too high or low, because it's going to be completely buried. You need to hit this stone. This pipe will connect us, and this one should go to the ground. Right now, I'm going to cut it much wider, and we'll join it together later. What does that mean? That we have 2 measurements to take. One to the ground, more or less. Well, more or less. And we're going to leave about 60 there. Very wide. And now we're going to go over there to the first one. Let it drift. Here. The first one is the one that
drifts to the
sink. So it goes more or less into the sink. Here the
sink goes.
Is going to be more or less here. Maybe it's going to end up like this. No, we're not going to go through the pipe. We'll take advantage of the trench, and there we have it. 450 more, 60, 510, okay? 520. Now we're going to cut the section of
520. And
at the same time, since we know that the hot water, we're also going to run it down here. And it's also going to go next to the sink. We know that we don't have to cut one, we have to cut 2. Well, sorry, we're only going to cut 1, and we're going to leave the hot one longer.
We'll attempt to reach all the way over there in one single piece without any soldering.
520.
All right, now bring everything towards me.
But
a little bit more. I'm heading over now. Let's go.
The subway is 5, so 5 plus up here.
I'm letting go, okay? Yes, left, right, hot.
And now?
Let's take it now. We can't handle ourselves in there? We said it was 450 plus the climb, so that means the curve is at 450, and it should have already gone up.
It comes and then goes up.
It means that if it's 520, we have 60 plus, starting the curve. This is what goes up. To start the curve, more or less,
Around here. And well...
Well, here we have about 90 degrees, more or less, more. Less? Yes? Well, let's take it over there, Carlos. Okay, I'll take it myself. Let's take advantage of a trench and run the pipe underneath, and that's it, to make it easy. Let's use insulation.
The insulation is the protective cover. Look, here it's never going to freeze in your whole life.
It would be important to put it on the hot pipe, to save energy.
But let's just put everything on, and that's it.
So it means that having this here, and you being very careful not to let any mud get into the pipe, you are going to
Start putting it in.
the insulation and bringing it towards me. It's incorrect because the area we're going to weld will get burned. However, you must
Leave, at least.
a palming here. Okay, we're a palming ready. Okay, Carlos, now give me 2 pieces of toilet paper.
Make a little roll.
Ensure nothing enters here. I'll handle it myself. On the other side, correct? No, we'll weld there. So let's stop putting this in. Stop looking at the pan. And when we realize it, we've got all the leaves in here.
Yeah. Oh, come on.
Please go over there where the hot one is. The hot one is the one below that one.
Yes. Well, let's see if we turn it a bit more, but okay, more or less cool. And well, that's it. It's going to be quite generous. There will be 150 more 560, 150 more 560. We're at 710, right? Yes, well, 710.
710.
That way. Now give it to me. You put it in place. In place. Good. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is put one shell here and another shell there.
And that's how it's facing.
Yes, because it fits us perfectly there, then later for cutting, since I didn't want to cut today. Okay, lower me down.
Your hand is on your left foot.
Good.
Okay, now that's perfect for us. We have to... Well, when we cut, we'll take everything to the place. The pipe will connect there. Though unclear now, it's perfect. Going to the left as far as I can tell. I'm on the hot water tap. Let's be careful not to mix them up, as that can lead to hot water in the bathroom. The right side is the hot one. All right, what goes here?
Well, here go 2 T's.
Check that the curve over there goes toward the wall and is as high up on the wall as possible. It's...
A little more over here.
all right, there it's right up against the wall. And the other one is also right up against the wall. Okay, all right?
So now, simply what's the idea?
The plan is to install a T-joint here, run a short pipe down, and then have it come over to this spot.
So I just grab it, put my finger here, do this, and come over here to cut.
All right. Can it work for us?
Oh, with the other one? Well, the same, but I'm going to cut here just a little earlier so it can go through.
Why am I thinking that? I'll explain it to you.
One of the two, no matter what, will have to go under or over the other. In this case, it doesn't matter to us because we have an abyss to work with. But anyway, if I made the cut here, the bridge would be there. And if I made the cut here, then the bridge would be here. We're more intrigued in this place, where time is abundant. Basically, what we're going to do is make a little cut here. Stop. To put it in, we go back to the same thing. This piece has to go in there. This piece isn't completely spherical. If I start doing it here, this copper will start trying to go into the tube, and I never stop. But if I start rounding it, what I'm doing is also rounding the tube. Do you see? Yes. I'm not going to put it in 100% because then I can't get it out. Let's leave it there. Now, considering this placement, we measure the small pieces. With the tape measure. Tape measure?
The tape measure. Who brought it?
For the turn that was there?
No. The tape measure? No.
Up.
Over here. So, I'm going to take advantage of this measure. We could even go straight, because we're going along the wall, but we're not going to go straight. So, I'm going to leave you this measurement. Plus a bit of a curve, more or less around here. It's 130 more. One of 130 and another of 140. That's what we're going to cut. 130 and 140. Why?
Are you going to put yourself there?
With his little mustache. Okay, we have 131.40.
It's 140.
Should we put water at the ends, since Guirina hasn't trained? Yes, let's see. Give me this one. We'll move it here and look at the next sections.
Nothing goes in lying face up.
Next point of
Cold water and next hot water point. Show the shower. Why am I doing this? Because in order to weld a piece, I obviously decided that it should have the 3 parts of the T, so now I'm going to cut this. Now we plug these in here, and the others too. We weld. We're getting things done a little more hands-on.
The hot one is the right one. The hot one is the right one. Go on.
We're not interested in that. Take it there. The hot one doesn't carry T anymore. The only next point is this one here. What we're going to do is put a very long piece of this, then we cut it a bit, put a T on it, and send it over there. With another little piece of copper, we continue here. Here we already come out of the ground. You're going to see that little piece of copper up to here, more or less. What's the distance? Half of the cistern, which is 21. It could be a little bit. For example, so that the faucet can be screwed in, there we're going to put a faucet called an angle valve. And so that valve has to be screwed in.
That valve doesn't screw in. We need a small piece in the center, something like this, okay?
So we're going to put 27. That means this one. You can see it. Look at the mark I made with my finger. You can see it. So we're going to go with the cold one, which is, without turning it, is it this one here? That's it. Inside, let's see. Exactly. It's fine, because there's no problem here. All right, and we're going to cut a piece of 130 for the cold, and then for the hot, and also for the hot. We're going to come this way. We're going to go underneath all this setup. We're going to go through here, and we're going to go up. And here we're going to leave it long. More or less. You'll put the faucet here, more or less, so let's do it. Sorry, this is the cold one. The hot one is this one. From here a little bit, yes, but the hot one goes on the right. Here, we'll make 2 90-degree turns, as there's ample space. All right.
What do you think?
I'm gonna do, it's more or less a curve to go under there.
It's crucial not to bend this, which I couldn't do even if I wanted to. Anyway, let's go.
Not to press in just one spot, but to turn. Yes, if I do it like this. So little by little now, by putting this in the other direction, I think it's going to ask to be classified somewhere else. More or less like this, more or less. I think this is the story. Let's put in a little piece of coquilla bacon. All right, now to get this through here, we need papers, otherwise we'll mess it up. Paper for a rolling machine. Good. Okay, let's put it in from the top, and there we go, man. What a chunk. All right, good. Let's see. All right, now, I think that's it. We're going to put it in straight, and we'll be able to get it in there. All right, let's leave this here for a moment. In fact, I'll start putting it in, because otherwise it's going to be a hassle. The moment the acid starts to touch the copper, we don't have too much time to solder.
Yeah.
Not too much. It could be a few minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. That gives us plenty of time to put everything together, more or less. Since it's new, it's not a problem. It's a good idea to do it gradually. We're back to the same thing. We put it into the pieces, and now we're going to take the tramen that we cut. We're working with the hot one. I'm not too concerned about the outcome, but we'll address it later. Okay, good.
Paint remover.
to each of the parts without fear. We put it on the most difficult piece, and now we connect this piece to the second most difficult one. It fit perfectly there.
See? It's a plaque.
We won't touch this. We'll move it later.
And now down, Carlos, down.
Down.
Up, down, up, down. And he went in. What you need to make a weld, that's the thickness. Because it's very typical. Starting at millions
Of liters.
Really, just by making a bend? I went overboard with the tube diameter. I used a 15 mm one. I overdid it, didn't I? But well, this is good enough.
So how am I going to make 3 points?
A little trick if you want to go 2 and 3. Exactly. Good. All right, when it's time to weld, all of this is going to burn a little. It's okay.
It's about making sure the whole pipe is hot.
How do I make sure? By putting the fire on one side and the solder on the other. The side with the fire heats up faster than the other side. If I overheat it, rather than picking up the solder, it repels it. So basically, I'm going to stand here. It accepted it. Let's move on to the next one. All right. You can't touch the tube in any way. In 2 or 3 minutes, because we would break the weld? Okay, let's wait 2 minutes, and let's get the other one ready.
Did the solder flow all the way through the cylinder?
Why did you put it there?
But on the bottom part?
Yes, that's why it absorbs it, and it's, let's say, by capillarity. And then also, if you notice, I started using the torch here. Yes, and first, obviously, I put the tin on this one. Because if I start with this one, when I come here, the heat from this one is also reaching this one. So maybe this solder joint. So for example, in this case, since the heat was coming from here, this is the first, second, and third solder joint. But if I came in with the torch from here, I would have the first, the second, and the third. Yes, yes.
Really? Oh.
Carlos, how? And so this goes up here, and I don't touch anything else. We leave it like that, and let's weld.
And then this, yes.
That means it will be first, second, and third. So I've turned this a lot to try to go from there. More or less fine. First, always on the opposite side. Second. And third? We got it? We'll check if I have a nipple and swivel fitting. Yes, I have both the swivel fitting and the nipple. Let's use the angle grinder with a cutting disc. Done. Let's see, let me realize it. Blue, we pass it through here like this, so this has to go a little higher. We put the T here, connect it, and this one makes the curve here. AT and then a curve. Here we go again. Back to the same thing. If I start to warm up at the top, what's going to happen is that when I heat the bottom, the top will also get heated. And we can heat the tube so much that in the end, it repels the solder. So it's very simple. The heat goes through here. I put the solder here.
It's important not to touch. Wait 2 minutes.
It's perfect, man. Cold water, and now the hot one. Absolutely perfect. I'm going to close these pipes. You've never witnessed people turning against themselves like this before. Of course.
You do that because then it doesn't matter. You're going to look for a piece. Of course. Yeah, because there's extra.
You come over here, you put the foam like this. Seal it well with the tape. Then take another small piece of tape.
This one.
Actually, you come whole, but...
Well,
let's imagine you come with a little piece. You put it with the cut facing up. You come here, you tape it again, and you do the same with all the pieces. Let's try it on the watt.
The moment of truth.
The one of one.
Source.
Approved. Great. It comes down like very well, like a waterfall.
Toward the wall.
Yes, there.
Enough.
It takes solids.
Come on, it takes solids.